Welcome to Visual Studio 2012 tutorial. This time I'm going to teach you on how we're going to create a basic point of sale system using Visual Studio. However, we will not be dealing with database in here, just the basics or the concepts of point of sale system. So first, I'm going to create a new project. Click on Windows Forms application. Now under Windows Forms application name, I'm going to change this one to, let's say, POS. Okay, click OK. Wait for the program to load. It might take a while though. So now it's already here. So the first thing that I need to do is just to resize my form. Click on the form one. I'm going to change this one to basic point of sale. There. Now afterwards, I'm going to populate the program environment with different objects. So under combo box, I'm just going to drag this one inwards. So I think I forgot to place the labels, so I'm going to place the first label in here. I'm going to name this one as product names. There. And I'm going to duplicate this one with another name. Let's say this one is the price. Next will be the quantity. There you go. And the last one will be the overall total or the total. So under the first combo box, I'm going to populate it with the items. So to do that, just click on the combo box first, and then proceed with the items property. So under the items property, you will be able to see this icon, the hamburger button icon. Just click on that one. Then I'm going to type all the items that should be included on my what they call this combo box. So I'm going to name this one as burger. Then the other one is spaghetti. Then this one will be chicken. The other one soda. And the last one will be what else? I think I'm going to place price. There. So once you're done with it, just click OK. Now to test if the combo box is working, you can click on start. Then click automatically everything is in there. Now you can click on stop, or you can just press Shift F5 on your keyboard so that it will stop, or Control Alt break. However, I'm just going to click on this one to stop. There you go. Now I'm going to proceed with the text box for the price. So go to the text box object, drag it over here. Same thing with the quantity. There you go. And the total. Where is text box? Over here. So once you're done with it, I'm just going to add additional combo box. Let's say I have created 2 items for each one of them. There you go. Next is, let's say you're done with it, be sure that you have changed the names of each of these text boxes so that later on you will not be having any problems in dealing with them in terms of coding. So I'm going to start with first I'm going to provide a button there. So I'm going to name this button as compute. There. So on the price, I'm going to change this one to txt priced, or P1, txt P1. Then this one is txt P2. There. On the quantity, same thing, naming convention txt Q1, and this one will be txt Q2. There you go. Next is the total, so txt T1 and txt T2. txt T2. There you go. And for this one, I don't need to change the name of this one because the main purpose of this is just to display all the total results. So under compute, I'm going to provide the codes in here. So just double click on the compute button, or you can just right click, click on view code. So this is the coding window. Oh, it's not working. So I'm just going to double click on that one. There. So under button 1 underscore click, I need to declare each of the variables that I will be using by typing on dim. So the first one will be under the price, so that would be P1, then comma P2, comma. Now depending upon the number of text boxes that you're going to use, you are going to declare them through dim. So since I only have 2 text boxes, I'm just trying to declare 2 variables for each of the prices. Now after the prices is the quantity, so I'm just going to name this one as Q1, Q2, then T1 and T2. There you go, for the total as integer, since we are going to deal with whole numbers. Now if you will be dealing with decimal places or decimal points, you can use float or double, it's up to you. Next is to assign each of these variables to our objects. So let's say P1, I'm going to assign this one to, what's the name of this one again? That's txt P1 equals to txt. So once you have successfully created the name of each of the object, it will be displayed in here by just typing txt. You will be able to see all of them. So txt p1.text, then p2 is equivalent to txt p2.text. Always remember, guys, that if ever you're going to deal with programming, the computer is going to read this one from top to bottom. So be sure that you have properly placed all the statements in order. So the next thing that I'm going to do is just to provide a result for this. Now the result will be displayed in here. Now since we are only going to deal with the result, so we don't need to use the variable anymore for that. So all I need to do is just to go back to my coding window. Then since I'm not going to use the variable, the T1 for it, so I'm just going to type in txt P1. The text is equivalent to P1 plus P2. There. txt t2.text is equivalent to P. No, that's not P1 anymore. Oh, I forgot. That's Q1. It should be Q1. Q1. Then this one is P2 plus Q2. Now I forgot something, guys. So I forgot to assign Q1 and Q2 to a particular text box. I'm just going to type it in here. Q1 is equivalent to txt Q1.text. There. Same thing with Q2. So txt Q2.text. Next is, which one? Okay, the next one is for this one. This one is text box 7. I forgot to name this one. I can change the name of this to txt overall total. Yeah, there. So go back to the compute button. So I'm going to type in txt overall total. The text is equivalent to T1 plus T2, which means this one is going to compute whatever the value is under T1 and T2. However, we still haven't used these variables, so I'm going to place it in here. T1 is equivalent to txt T1.text. Now, as you have noticed, I have placed the declaration of these variables underneath this one, since the program is going to read this one from top to bottom. So be sure that you have placed them in order. So T2 is equivalent to txt T2.text. There. Now let's try running our program. Go back to the Form 1 environment. Click on Start. There. So I'm going to choose a price. Let's say spaghetti, and this one is chicken. So I don't know how much is the spaghetti, so I'm going to place 25 for this, and chicken will be 50. So place the quantity for each of them, 3, and this one is 5. Kind of starving. So by the time I'm going to click on compute, so you'll be able to see the total, and at the same time the overall total will be computed as well. So that's how you're going to create the basic point of sale system in Visual Studio. Now this is just a sample, guys. At least you have an idea on how you're going to deal with it. So that's all for now. Bye.